Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Video True, and welcome to Wasteland. Now, I know I promised you a Fallout video essay today, but, as video essays often do, it sort of got away from me a bit, because it was supposed to be a very brief 20-minute essay, but now it's looking more like an hour. So it's going to take me another week to finish up, but next week you are going to get a much bigger video essay than I was expecting. But that does mean I get to do something else very interesting today, which is, yes, Wasteland 1988. Because Wasteland isn't just a game. Wasteland is the history of Fallout. When I started my original Fallout 1 series, I said, this is where it all begins, but that was a bit of a lie. This is where Fallout truly begins. And I don't just mean in the flimsy, oh, it was a spiritual successor sense. No. We're going to have to do ourselves a history lesson here. So, the year is 1983, and we begin with a man whose name is just cycling through the start screen here, Brian Fargo. Because in 1983, he sets up Interplay Productions, a small game development house. And it does very, very well for itself. The Bard's Tale franchise in particular, a massive financial success. But then he thinks in the mid-80s, hang on, what if we made some form of, I don't know, post-apocalyptic RPG sort of thing, set maybe a century or so after nukes destroyed everything, following small communities as they start to rebuild. We could set it in, say, the ruins of southwest USA, big focus on the desert aesthetic, main faction called the Desert Rangers. Yeah, that sounds like good stuff, and it might well sound very, very familiar indeed. Anyway, all of that comes together in Wasteland in 1988, but there's one small important problem, which is, at this point in its history, Interplay Productions is a development house, they're not publishing their own games, so Wasteland ends up getting published by EA instead. That's gonna be important. Because as we roll into the 90s, they're now publishing their own games and have an interest in a new Wasteland title. In fact, they begin working on a new post-apocalypse RPG, assuming it's going to be Wasteland 2. Unfortunately, just like today, EA in the early to mid-90s were a bunch of dicks, and in the end basically refused to hand over the Wasteland license, and no one could come up with an agreement to allow them to use the name. So Brian Fargo eventually throws his hands in the air and says, hang on, we don't actually need the Wasteland license. We'll make our own post-apocalyptic RPG with blackjack and hookers, which they very literally did. Twice. And the final fun twist, by the way, even though unlike with the original Wasteland, Brian Fargo wasn't project director for the original Fallout, that was Tim Kaine, the person that actually came up with the name Fallout that gives us the franchise we know and love today was Brian Fargo himself. Now all of that might just be some fun history for the video game industry, but there's a little bit more than that. Let's dive in, because there are some fun connections between this game and the Fallout franchise. So unlike in Fallout, you don't start off with a single base character that the game sort of assumes you're going to be building from scratch. Instead, you start off with a bunch of companions travelling together. And I kind of love them, because every single one of them has got a hilariously edgy name. So, you know, we've got Hellraiser, and Snake Vargas, and Thrasher, and Angel of Death, which is... it's just ridiculous. I mean, come on, guys. No one's gonna judge you if your name just happens to be Steve. It's fine. In fact, you know what? That's exactly what we're gonna do, because, yeah, we've got this lovely starting team right here, but there's nothing to stop you creating your own team if you want to. So we will keep Hellraiser, the Angel of Death, and Snake Vargas. But no. Thrasher, we're going to be getting rid of you, actually, and replacing him with my own unique special character. Though as this is very literally an old-school role-playing game, you don't get to just, like, move around your special in this game. Hang on. Strength, IQ, luck, speed, agility, dexterity, charisma, and... Skipper. Hang on, what's Skipper? Skill points, right! Right, so Sildascus. I don't get to pick my own Sildascus. Instead, you are literally rolling a character. You just get to re-roll and the game just rolls some dice for you. It's wonderful. Here we go. Thrasher was a bit of a melee specialist, so my new character probably should be too. So plenty of strength and plenty of agility means, yeah, I'll be good with hand-to-hand and melee weapons. That's just absolutely fine right there. Here we go. Steve Smith. Marvellous. And because his IQ's not that high, he can only learn certain skills. So yeah, your IQ literally bars you from having certain more advanced derived skills. But that's fine. I think we're going to make him good at brawling. Brawling is good. He can be good at knife fighting as well. Absolutely marvellous. Bit of perception, etc. But mainly, yeah, he's about stabbing and punching. And here we are. Welcome to Wasteland. Yeah, it was 1988. So, things are gonna be a little bit retro. Oh my goodness, it's so charming. And yes, indeed, we're in Nevada, so you're going to want to be a bit careful when it comes to, say, deserts. You see miles and miles of endless wasteland, you decide that further progress would be hazardous to your health. So yeah, the desert represents the edge of the map. You can't go into the desert. That would be a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. Instead, you travel around looking for little communities. So we've got something right here, say. So we just want to navigate into that. But before we step inside, we're going to be wanting to be making sure we're properly set up here. So Steve, for example, is currently using his fists. I don't want him to use his fists. I'm pretty sure the game gave him a knife to start off with because he was a knife specialist. So, item, go down to the rest of it, please. Yes, so knife. Hellraiser, meanwhile, is, yeah, he's about brawling as well too, though he can use a pistol if need be, but mainly he's about brawling, so that crowbar works pretty well for him. The magnificent Angela Death is mainly about pistols, swimming, perception, demolition, marvellous. Can use an assault rifle when that shows up, but also about support skills. So, lockpicking, safe cracking, and ultimately, medic. Good, so if we take damage, she can medic us up a bit. Snake Vargas, meanwhile, is not only a good medic, but is also good at metalworking and bureaucracy. Right, this is the guy we should have named Steve Smith. Got it. Okay, now I understand who my team are and what they do. Let's go check out the first new location. Marvellous. Entering Highpool. You're on the desert north of the settlement of Highpool. Right, so we are entering a small community that seems to be doing, you know, pretty well for itself. It's got water, it's green, it's not actively a desert. This is all looking positive. This is a dorm for teens, nothing much of interest here. Alright, move on. This is a dorm for teens. Dorm for teens. Okay, more dorms for teens. There's... Aha! I've actually found myself a shop with an interior. The entry is cool, a stone counter is nearby, and the room beyond looks like a gaming hall. Okay, so a note tacked to the wall says, Cave, Adults, Raid Outlaws, Jackie, Bobby's Dog, Fix Water Purifier. Alright, keep that in mind. That might well be of interest. Hello over there. Oh, you're marvellously pixelated. I love you. So who wants to enter the shop? I would say Snake Vargas, because we know he's good at bureaucracy of all the skills you want in the post-apocalypse. You have 0 money. Do you want to buy or sell? Well, I'm guessing sell in that case, but can I actually see what you've got to buy? So, books for 10, canteen for 10, crowbar for 15, gas mask for 150, Geiger counter for 300. Yeah, I think you can start to see some of the connections between this and Fallout with, yeah, canteens, the threat of radiation, all of that good stuff. Jug, map, match. What else have you got, my good man? Pickaxe, rope, shovel, sledgehammer. Now, I feel like Steve Smith would potentially, like, hang on, would he? Because he's more about knives than... what's that brawling skill? Oh, I don't know. But also snake squeezing, clay pot, fruit, jewellery. Don't really have much in the way of money. Hang on, if I pull my money... Nobody's got money. We left Ranger Base without any money whatsoever. Okay, hang on. What if I want to potentially sell? Send in Snake again. Sell. What's he got to sell? He's got some stuff, but I don't know which of these things is useful or not. So, we'll leave the store be for now. Now, there is a locked door here. Bear in mind, I do have potentially the ability to do something about that. Because, hang on, Angela Death, you actually had yourselves the picklock ability. Let's not use that just yet, because, you know, I'm blatantly inside to the shopkeep right now. So that might go a bit badly, but remember there's a locked door there. And yeah, remember this note here. Cave, Jackie, Bobby's Dog, Water Purifier. Now, does anyone actually have the repair skill? Because we might be able to repair your Water Purifier, which is the most Fallout-y task imaginable. Like in classic Fallout, it was quite frankly surprising if you rolled into a new town and they didn't need a water pump repairing. Also, more flipping dorms for teens. Which is either just, you know, recycled text, or I'm supposed to be picking up something about this place, which is, yeah, there's a lot of flipping teens here, and not many, you know, adults, which is a bit on the odd side. Here we go, an actual building again. This looks like a workshop. Old machinery is nearby. There's a cot in the back. So, okay. Old machine parts lie on the floor, surrounded by a scatter of tools. So just like in Fallout, there's a lot of detail about the environment you're in, but unlike in Fallout, you don't hover over it to learn stuff. Instead, you literally walk on top of it to figure out what's going on. So this big contraption is a patchwork machine. You recognise a pump, lime-crusted pipes go under the floor. Okay, this here would appear to be the pump itself. Now, do you mean this thing, or... hang on. Under a loose board beneath the bed, you find quite a cache. Aha! Stuff! Yes, I think we'll be actually doing a bit of looting, because there's no flipping witnesses. So, go on then, Steve. Get in there, do a bit of looting. So, we got ourselves leather jacket money. Right, free money, love it. So we'll be having that. Take the leather jacket too, and yeah, take a pistol, just so you've got one in case you need one down the line. Okay, how do we put on the jacket? Okay, roster. Pick Steve Smith, go through to equipment screen. Now, leather jacket. There we go. That's an easier way of doing it. And that's also how I could change weapons if I wanted Steve Smith to be using a crowbar or a gun instead. Got it. Okay, as for the engine, I haven't seen a repair skill, so I'm going to use a perception skill to see if I can figure out what I'm looking at. And there we flippin' go. You see, even though this game looks incredibly scruffy, because, you know, it's from 1988, you can see the seeds of Fallout here, which is things intuitively make sense. You can figure things out. If you don't know what you're looking at, use the perception check to figure out some more information. So you deduce that this is a water purification device, it looks broken. The gaping hole beside the pump leads you to think it could be fixed with a new engine. So, okay, I don't need to repair it, I need to get an engine from somewhere. And over to one more house over here. Yep, that's a new location. And welcome to the infirmary. Who wants treatment? Right, so this is a doctor. Don't need you right now. I'll be back if I get horribly wounded. The rocks are slick and mossy. Do not swim here. Okay, you say that, but I can't help but notice I actually brought some characters who know how to swim. So, Steve, prepare to go swimming because no game tells me what to flipping do. So swim upwards. Nothing happens. Okay, I'm disappointed in the swimming skill. But we do actually have a character here because, yeah, the previous characters have been shops and doctors. You're actually a character. A tearful boy watches me from the nearby brush. So, hello there. Yes, I want to talk to you. What do you want to ask him about? Ah! So you know in Fallout 1 how you can just like type manual things in but no one ever used it because it was really hard to figure out what to ask people? Yeah, here's where that came from. Got it. So, okay. The note. So, I'm guessing, are you Bobby by any chance? I'm just going to say Bobby to him. The kid fidgets and then shrugs, I don't know. Okay. Dog. And, aha! Please don't kill my dog Rex, okay? Please. Alright. Ask about Rex. Honest, Rex didn't mean to get sick. I just hit him till he got better. Right. So I'm guessing we've got a dog that got sick for some reason. Someone wants to put him down in this community, presumably because, yeah, they thought he might be mutating because we're in a post-apocalypse game. So, you know, decent assumption, all things considered. I don't know whether he actually is mutating, though. So, okay. Honest Rex didn't mean to get sick. I just hit him. Okay. The other things on that note were Jackie. Jackie went into the cave yesterday. I haven't seen her since. Yes, cave was mentioned too. Tell me about cave. The cave is over behind the bushes. We aren't supposed to go there. Okay, behind the bushes. Not supposed to go there. Can you tell me about the bushes? And the cave is between the pool and the west cliff wall, kind of between those two trees. He then yells Rex and runs away. Okay, and the cliff face is dotted with seashells and worm tracks. Not sure where he actually went off to, but okay. Next to the pool between two trees. So it must be here. Bushes cling to the rope canyon walls. Okay, hang on. Climbing was a skill. Who's got climbing as a skill? Can we climb in this direction? Nothing happens. demolitions was a skill as well. Does anyone have demolition? If so, do you have like some dynamite or something? No, Snake Vargas, of course, doesn't have demolition skill. He's got bomb disarm, the opposite of blowing things up, which is obviously the most boring skill. Rope, canteen, crowbar, knife, hand mirror match. Now, I've played enough classic Fallout to know that generally, a rope is a solution to any early game problem whatsoever. Any hole, thing that needs climbing, rope is the answer. So, give it a go. Nothing happens. What am I missing here? Alright, go back to what just worked for me here. Perception it up a little bit. Here we go. Right, so perception is really, really important. Basically, scan literally everything with perception. So you find a deep hole to a dark cave, a short strand of frayed rope about 3 inches long, dangles from a tree limb. So I'm guessing Jackie went in there to help Bobby hide his dog, but unfortunately the dog probably is mutating and now Jackie's trapped in there with him. Got it. Okay. Now I'm feeling like rope's been specifically mentioned, we can use the rope. Okay, Hellraiser, you were the one who actually figured this out, so you're the one who gets to use the flipping rope. So, use rope on this space. Your rope is tied to the tree, want to slide down into the cave. Yes, here we flipping go. And now I'm starting to wonder whether there's actually a direct relationship between using a rope in the opening village here and acquiring rope in Shady Sands to use in Vault 15 in the original Fallout. Because yeah, there might actually be a relationship. So even here, the cave is very dark. It doesn't look dark, but every single space is... aha! Hang on. Darkness. I just saw an item that might well be useful for that. So go down, go down, go down. Yes. Activate match, please. Just use it on yourself. Nothing happens. And rocks and boulders make it very difficult to pass. Is it still dark, though? Even here, the cave is very dark. Okay, possibly the match wasn't right. Maybe that's for starting fires right now. But, yeah, I can't get through here because of rocks and boulders. Somebody was good at climbing, right? Here we go, climbing 1 on Hellraiser. Oh, Hellraiser, you are just flipping saving me a lot. So, you wriggle past, the entire team now gets past. So, you hear a growl like metal ripping, a huge dog lunges from a dark corner, jaws foaming, one rabid dog appears at 14 feet. Right, so now we've got ourselves an actual fight. So, hang on, go to the map here. Yeah, so that's the dog, because all monsters are represented, rather charmingly, by massive hot pink minotaur creatures, which is just flipping beautiful. So now we've got to figure out how to fight it. The creature's going to come close to me. I can actually use run, which isn't just run away, that just means also just move in general. So I could move closer to it, but yeah, probably we're better off just starting to basically attack it like crazy. I could also use items, attempt to hire it, probably not going to work with this rabid dog, to be honest. Evade if a character is weak for whatever reason. Basic attack, which is whatever you're holding right now, attack with that. Load or unjam if I run into problems with guns, or weapon if I need to change over my weapon. So for the time being, are we in range to use melee? And yes, the game hasn't flagged anything, so I'm assuming we are. So everybody can just basically do some basic attacks. Once that's lined up, we'll see who's actually got the best speed and thus who gets the attack hit. Oh, blimey, hang on. So, misses. We managed to actually hit... oh, Steve Smith. Well flipping done. Hellraiser for 9. And the dog jumps on me and gets 11 damage. Sorry, I set the speed for the text a bit high there. That's fine. The dog has, however, taken a bit of damage. I don't know if you can check how much health it's got left, though. Still, you can see the effect that's actually had right there. Because, yes, max is your max health. And constitution is your current health, so potentially, Hellraiser, you might want to evade going forward. Actually, you're probably okay for now. You know what, go in for another set of full attacks on this occasion. That's absolutely fine. So the encounter now begins. So Angela Death jumps in and hits the dog. Doesn't actually do any damage with a gun. Alright, fine. So Snake also does only 1 damage. Steve Smith, oh, brutally pummels for 6, and Steve Smith also jumps in again, because he's so damn good with knives. Another 10 points, killing him, 270 XP, because yes, XP is divided by who actually does the damage, not evenly through the team. So basically, my original character, Steve Smith, is kicking the arse of Hellraiser, Angela Death, and Snake Vargas, which is just beautiful. So, past again, there is now some loot. You know what? Steve gets the flipping loot. There's some jewelry here. Oh. Why have I got a bad feeling about what happened to Jackie if we've just picked some jewelry off the dog? Ah, but on this occasion, I actually failed. So because his climbing is only 1, I failed, and this guy actually takes a few points of damage for failing. So yeah, just attempting to do something over and over again if you're not very good at it, not always a good idea. How's the team doing, by the way? Because Hellraiser is... Yes, he's looking a bit on the weak side. Who was my dedicated healer? It was Snake, wasn't it? Right, so, Snake, I'm going to be wanting you to actually, yes, use your medic ability, please. So, use Snake, and then skill, and then, yes, medic 2. Please use that on Hellraiser. And Hellraiser must heal over time. That's fine. Okay, so possibly he's going to start healing as time goes by at this point. Which is absolutely fine, because I think you can actually... Hang on. Come out of this for a second. Can time just pass by itself? Because, yeah, you can just view to make time pass. So, is he going up at all? Not yet, but yeah, maybe be a bit careful with Hellraiser. I feel like he's not doing great right now. Aha! A bit more wriggling later, we've got someone up here at the top of the cave. So, okay there. Hello, how do we speak to you? Here we go. I need to officially encounter them with the encounter button, which lets you fake an encounter if you want to, like, reload all your guns in a hurry. So please help me get out of here. One juvenile appears at 10 feet. We're not, like, murdering her, are we? No, this is probably what the hire option is for. So, hello over there. We would like to hire this individual. Everybody else, just, like, evade and don't stab them, please. So, thank you for rescuing me. And do we have... We have got ourselves a party member number 5. Beautiful. Okay, so Jackie is silent move, perception, swim, brawling. Right, so she's a bit of a frontliner too. Got it. Though, how much has she got in terms of... Okay, she starts with a knife and that's it. She's not very good. Also, her maximum health is only 10. Okay, I feel like she's potentially going to be dying at some point soon. Right, back out of the cave, and once again my clumsiness has been my doom. So yes, I was just trying to cross the river, but as it turns out, the game wasn't kidding when it said the rocks were slippery. So you fall over in embarrassment and you hear children's laughter. And okay, the game is not kidding. That's 2 points of damage for Angela Death, 4 for Snake Vargas, and Jackie has lost half her entire health bar. Right, so, hello. Who are you, by the way? I don't know who you guys are. So, it did just say kids were laughing at me. I'm guessing you are the local kids who just laughed at me. So yes, if you want to speak to someone, we need to encounter them. During from their hiding place, mutant kids hold slingshots in their hands. Ooh, mutant! That means I can murder, right? Is murder okay? The weak people should evade. One of you should try and, like, hire the brat. In fact, yeah, just all of you hire the brat if you can. Everyone who's weak, evade, please. So, encounter begins. You evade. You try to hire the brat, but fail. Okay, the brat doesn't want to join my team, presumably because, you know, he's not actually a named character. And the brat doesn't actually do anything to me. Okay, so the brat is basically just laughing at me, and we can just walk away after the round's done. Right, so if I wanted to, I could murder the brat, but let's not do that, because that would definitely be evil. Murdering children just because they laugh at you, that's evil. Now, we do actually need to make a quick trip to the doctor. Yes, so Hellraiser needs to actually have some healing. That's definitely true. So, an exam for $25. Oh, go on, yeah, pull the money with him. Oh, hang on, the exam's $25, but healing is $5 per constitution point. No, that's very expensive. Right, we're just gonna have to, like, you know, do our own healing. That's fine. I'm sorry, Doctor, you're a bit expensive for my tastes. Medic isn't like first aid in Fallout, it's about stabilizing people who have got seriously badly injured so you can get them back to a doctor. Right, in that case, I guess I'll pay for a small amount of medical care or whatever. Right, as I'm about to leave and go and find a new town anyway, this locked door here, because maybe shopkeepers don't really count as, like, you know, people. So, Angela Death, I'd like you to be using your skill of pick lock, if you'd be so kind, and the door resists your efforts. Okay, give it another go, but eventually I might, I don't know, stub my fingers in the lock and injure myself or something. Aha! I've got the door open, but some kids just appeared and they're really, really annoyed. So basically, screw those kids, and we've got several handwritten notes on the desk. One note is cash accounts with the rail nomads, another outlines sneak attack plans against desert marauders. This last note seems odd, since it clearly assumes only 2 attackers against many. The note is a reminder to put a trapdoor over the cave across the creek. Another is about hydrophobia. Right, so again, multiple solutions or hints. Either you can figure out you need to read what's on the note to the kid, or the game just tells you, hey, there's a trapdoor in a cave and diddly diddly dee. And on the wall there are faded photos of kids, t-shirts say Camp Highpool. Right, so now we understand what this place used to be. It used to be a nice camp, which is why there's a bunch of similar dormitories, there's a little river, there's a lake. Oh, I like this. Even though it looks very, very basic, actually, there's a lot of really cool details setting out what's going on in the world. And that does remind me, jewellery. There we go. Sell the jewellery. Spot on. So now we've got some money. Okay, items that sound useful. Canteen, potentially if we're going into deserts, but I think some people start with canteen, so that's fine. Map. Could potentially, you know, put some new stuff on my map, which would be useful. Pickaxe. Or sledgehammer. Pickaxe is, yeah, a bit more pricey. If that's actually like a melee weapon, I could give that to Steve. You know what? I'm going to buy myself a pickaxe, sure. I'm just suspicious of how cheap the sledgehammer is, by the way. You know what? I'm going to get that too and give it to Hellraiser. So we're going to buy one of them, and we're going to buy one of them. Job flippin' done. We've got a bit of a problem, though. So, the kid who told us about the cave, Bobby, you killed my dog, you dirty rangers. One Bobby appears at 40 feet. Now, is he actually planning to attack me? Like, is he going to be stupid enough to try and do that? Let's just see what he does. I'm just going to do a full round of evasion. We're not starting this unless he starts it. So everyone evades. Is he planning to do anything? Okay. He doesn't seem to be, unless he's getting closer. I don't think he's getting any closer. Right, okay. In which case, entire party, run up a bit, please. Yes, everyone's just going to go up. And if we can, we're just going to literally step around this guy and not bother fighting him. Yep, no attack from him yet, so... okay. Important lesson here. Just because someone's yelling at me and activates an encounter does not mean we open fire. This is a kid upset that his dog's dead. It's understandable. We have to be the bigger person and just walk away. And there we go. We're now far enough away. We've just left him crying about his dead dog. And I do feel a bit bad about that, but what can you do? I will fix your water purifier, alright? So, speaking of which, stay out of the desert, and let's see what else we got around here. So, okay. Some form of big building. Entering agricultural centre. Hello over there. You appear to live in some form of, like, castle or something, because 1988. So men with axes, hoes, rakes and shovels shake their heads with despair. Read paragraph 56. Aha! So, welcome to 1988, where, because we had some small limitations back then on how much data could be stored on any given device, yeah, every single individual byte kind of mattered. So it was not unheard of that rather than having the text of your game in your game, instead you would have the game story in the manual, and the game would just tell you when to open up your manual and which paragraph to read. And Wasteland, like many games that did this, to stop people just like, you know, reading the story and spoiling it for themselves, included a whole bunch of fake paragraphs that aren't ever called for in the game, just to confuse people, which is wonderful. So, we've got some creatures that are eating all of their food. They can't kill them, but I've got guns, pickaxes, sledgehammers. I can probably handle that, yes.
In the shadow of an enormous satellite tracking dish stands the old man. Over 100 years old, he is still vigorous and bright of eye, although he rambles incoherently at times. The farmers remove their hats as they approach and wait for him to speak. Frowning, deep in thought, he stares at what appear to be the remains of a 15-foot-tall carrot. He holds a long shaft of broken metal in one hand. and mumbles something about wascally wabbits that he had to beat away with his best rake. Miguel explains that you have come to help. The old man studies your weapons and tells you that he doesn't think your pea shooters will do any good against the armored varmints, but that you're welcome to try. If you succeed, he wants you to come back and see him. There's something he'd like to show you. Free to roam the veggie field, you head towards the carrot patch. From a distance, you hear the old man warn you, "Watch out for Harry, the bunny master."
Yes, you may have noticed the tone isn't 100 miles off from Fallout either, which is, sure, it's a bit grim and post-apocalyptic, but there's also most definitely an overtly comic side to it as well. So, Harry the Bunny Master, and also, yes, a large satellite dish where presumably that guy's hanging out. So, alright, we need to find ourselves... Is that a trebuchet, by the way? Ooh, just a catapult, not a trebuchet, not as good. Right, so, peas the size of bowling balls lie on the ground in pods. So, giant mutated fruit and what's not. Let me just keep exploring, see if we can find some creatures, and Harry, the Bunny Master, though, can't help but notice, there does appear to be a giant bag of money there, so I will totally sort out that problem momentarily, but first, Angela, would you mind having a quick go at that? And I think I'll be helping myself too. Who hasn't done any looting yet? You know what, Angela? You did the last bit of looting. Take some crowbar and some fruits. Love it. So that is presumably some nice easy money if we can just find a shop to sell those at. And you have now entered the green sequoia broccoli forest. The 30-foot tall stalks tower over your puny human body. But unfortunately it's 1988, so you're just going to have to, imagine those. And we've run into some monsters, so okay, 4 desert lizards have popped up. Not a bunny or a bunny master, but it'll do as a starting point, because we're gaining XP, we need XP to level up. So, and uh-oh, hang on, have we got even more problems? Yes, we've also got prairie dogs. Everybody just start attacking, and... what happened to the, lizards? You mentioned lizards a second ago, but now it's just prairie dogs. Those don't look like prairie dogs to me, but whatever. Right, we'll start working on that anyway. Okay, so Steve Smith is obviously the big damn hero, doing some good work there. Attacks twice in a row because of some of his brawling skills. Kills one of them immediately. Angela Death has taken 6. And also Snake Vargas has taken 3 hit points of damage. So... Hellraiser and Jackie are not under attack. That's probably what I wanted to see. So, keep on keeping on here, and... oh, hang on. Hellraiser, did you just say that there was no one actually in range to attack there? No, Hellraiser's only got one person next to him, so you guys go for... ah, there are the lizards. Right, let's take out the dogs first. The problem is the lizards were out of range, so focus on the dogs for the time being. So yeah, let's just take out all of them, then we'll start working on that business. So those options are absolutely fine. So Angela Death attacks the prairie dogs, does 16 points of damage, because yeah, she's using a gun. Though at some point, yeah, ammo will be a problem. Another 10 points right there. Hellraiser gets 13. Oh, the hammering is good. Hellraiser misses with the second attack, unfortunately. Steve Smith misses once, gets a second attack in for only 2. So yeah, the damage ranges are pretty wide. Still, Jackie is... oh, Jackie. That's flipping 10 points. Well done, Jackie. Good work. And the dog has been killed. Good. So Hellraiser's going to get some XP right there. Now we've got the desert lizards. And they are still some distance away. They haven't attacked me yet, so... my gun users might be in good shape, but Hellraiser, are you... yes, Hellraiser can't do anything, for the simple reason he's not close by to them. So, what you're going to do instead, Hellraiser, is you're just going to evade, because you're not in great shape right now. But, Angela, you should be able to attack. Yes, you can. You've got guns. Now, Steve Smith, meanwhile... he probably wants to take a step towards them because you've got plenty of health right now. And when we say run, you can start splitting apart from your party. So what's going to happen right now is, Hellraiser, you actually take your shot. Everyone, no, I didn't mean to... I was trying to just move him. Okay, fine, I didn't just move him. Yes, single player, not party. So I clicked that wrong last time, I might well have done. And Jackie, you're going to be doing a bit of evading too, because you're on the weak side. So now, this is what I want to do. So, bit of a shot for 6 and 11. Lovely. You evade. Steve Smith runs. Good. Good, good, good. So now we've got Steve in a different spot from everybody else. So yes, now I've got a party of 4 because Steve is technically part of a different party. So you evade, you two guys just attack, you evade as well, and Steve now in a party all by himself should hopefully be, yeah, he's close enough to begin attacking with his pickaxe. So there's another 5 points of damage, Snake does 10 right there. It was killed anyway, though hang on, there is another one. Steve misses, then hits him again, but fails to do anything. Steve gets knocked over for 1 because he's wearing armor, and everyone else is absolutely a-okay. And there we go, the final one goes down, Angela killed it, so Hellraiser 160, Angela 120, Snake 140, Steve still gets the lion's share because Steve is the best. Now, fun thing by the way, Steve is actually over here at this point, so we collected Steve. Yes, we've now collected Steve. The game doesn't tell you when you've leveled up. You just need to ring home occasionally and say, hi, by any chance have I leveled up at this point? So, radio in. Hellraiser doesn't have enough experience. Yeah, but does Steve? Ooh, not yet, unfortunately. And I'm not even sure why we're asking about Jackie. She's not part of the Rangers, but maybe she is now. Who knows? Aha. And we've got some bunnies. Right, bunnies should be easier to take care of. Are they close to me or not? Not sure if that's in range for a melee attack. We'll have to see. So if everyone can attack, just attack. Yes, everyone can attack. That's fine. So you guys just get on with just basically attacking the bunnies. So bunny for 12, killing it instantly. Okay, the bunnies are not that tough, understandably. And also down here in the corner, there's a way out to... Okay, hang on. What's this? Ooh. Okay, this area smells very strongly of animals and damp dirt. It's dark and hard to see. Okay, now would you like me to use a match? Because I swear this is what matches are going to be for. Nothing happens. Okay, I'm clearly misunderstanding matches and... Oh, we've got a big old pile of bunnies coming at me. They don't seem that tough though, so just someone shoot them please. We do have some, problems here. Unquestionably, we've got some problems. Like, yeah, every single one of my melee characters is now down to 1 hit point. And Angela Death and Snake Vargas are both looking battered. Very, very battered indeed. It must be said. So, as much as I sympathise with your problem of some form of terrifying bunny master, we might be wanting to give up on this one, or maybe, just maybe, I can sneak around the bunnies and possums and whatnot without attacking them. Ooh, hello there, sexy. Right, before we actually started retreating, we got a grenade. Now, I believe that was just picked up by Angela Death. If I recall correctly, did actually have the Demo Expert skill. Do you have the Demo Expert skill? Because I think you do. Yes, demolitions. Right, so, next time someone needs to be exploded, we can do that. Okay, at this point we are down to nothing. 8 hit points on Angela, everyone else at 1. I think it's time for us to go. I think it is officially time for us to say, it's been great, I have thinned out their ranks, like, have fun mopping up. Uh-oh, the possums are pursuing... Okay, it's time for the emergency thing. Angela, that grenade we actually gave you, now's the flipping time. Now, the question admittedly does have to be asked. Are they maybe a bit dangerously close to use a grenade on? But in many ways, we're lacking in options here. Flipping do it, Angela. And there we go. A possum has been shredded for 20 points, and also 17, and also 20, and also 21. Do not kill any of them. We should be able to finish them off now. Snake's unconscious. Jackie is... Oh, bloody hell, these possums are tough. Well, they are rad possums, so fair enough. 1 point of damage. 4. Stephen Smith. Come on, Steve, you're letting me down. Also, Angela's using her fist because she didn't know she was supposed to be going over to a gun, but thank goodness they're dead anyway. Okay, I think we flipping made it to the end of the cave, though. Enter new location. This better be something good, and... Was that just back outside? Was that just back outside? To exactly where I just began? Except, if this is just where I got round to, I could have just opened this gate with, like, strength and crowbar, or the lockpick ability. Like, it was It was right there. It was right there the whole time. Well, I'm robbing everything you flipping own, you bastards. At least I've picked up some combat experience, and someone better have leveled up from that. Yes! Steve Smith has leveled up. He is now private first class. Right, I'm going to give him some more strength and some more agility. Let's just make him better at his job, damn it. Right, I'm nipping back to my good friends at... Hang on, what was this place called again? Highpool! Because you have got a shop. I don't care about Bobby. Alright, he needs to get the flip out of my way or I will kill him. Hang on. The Bobby attacked me. Oh, hang on. Okay. You have got one chance. One chance to not do that again, or I will be causing trouble for you, and he's just not one of my people unconscious. So yeah, we can now begin. There we go. Bobby's now dead. So, kind of feel like he brought that on himself. Oh my, he actually had a pistol on him. I don't know if it's any good, but okay. Give that to Snake in that case, and some jewelry as well. I'm going to work under the assumption that potentially the other people living here are not thrilled about that. And they seem pretty chill so far. And he's still willing to actually trade with me. Good, good. Oh, and this is good. That fruit is actually pretty bloody valuable. So, okay then. What we're going to do is send everyone into the shop, one by one. And what I think I can do is, yeah, by just holding down V and thus going into view... I'm just standing still, letting time pass, and while I do that, my team is healing up without me having to spend any actual flipping money. Good, 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 good. So yeah, this is the equivalent of resting in the Pip-Boy in Fallout. Marvellous. While I'm just doing that, by the way, I will say one interesting other thing, which is, yes, Desert Rangers, the faction you're playing as in this game, might sound a bit familiar because, well, obviously New Vegas, but a lot earlier than that too. In Fallout 1, Tycho in Junktown specifically identified that he was part of the Desert Rangers, and because Fallout, in terms of like, you know, calendar year, is set centuries after this, because this game is set in the late 21st century, the nuclear apocalypse having happened in the terrifying future year of 1998, rather amazingly. Tycho specifically identifies he's from a long line of Desert Rangers, with the implication being he is a direct descendant of the faction you're playing as right now. In fact, he even specifically mentions Las Vegas in passing, which is a location in Wasteland, though admittedly the appearance of New Vegas down the line would make absolutely certain that Wasteland was not canonical, but it must be said, in Wasteland, the funny thing about New Vegas is it wasn't actually directly hit by nuclear weapons and is protected by a very large number of really strong robots, which certainly sounds a little bit familiar with what's going on in New Vegas. So yeah, Obsidian, who had many former employees of Black Isle, who were of course formerly an Interplay studio, yeah, they definitely went back to that cookie jar when they were planning New Vegas, I feel. Right, keep on keeping on here. Just a bit further north now. What do we have now? The Guardians at Citadel. Hello over there. Carved into the side of the mountain, you see a huge black structure you recognise as the Guardian Citadel. Aha! Yes, these guys, I know these guys. These guys are the Proto-Brotherhood of Steel. Collectors of old items and isolationists. Very much strongly related to the Brotherhood we would go on to have in Fallout 1. And as it says, don't walk past the flags, you're gonna have a bad time. So, yeah, don't have the weapons or the armour for this yet, let's be on our way. Right, just a bit around the corner. What do we have here? Desert Nomads, here we go, and you guys look like you have got yourself a great big train. So I suspect this is precisely what I want. Yes, Rail Nomads.
Welcome, Rangers. I am the brakeman of this train. I'd be honored if you would visit me in the caboose before leaving our camp. In the meantime, please accept our hospitality. The brakeman turns and strides back into the camp.
Alright, go and visit the brakeman at the rear of the train. The brakeman meets you at the door of the caboose. He thanks you for heeding his invitation. He has something for you to deliver to the Head Crusher in Quartz.
Take this Visa card and give it to Head Crusher in Quartz. As the brakeman passes you the card, the sunlight catches the Dove hologram and glints brightly. You slide it into your breast pocket as he turns and leaves, without another word.
Okay, Dove hologram might well be significant. Not sure I trust someone called Head Crusher, Also, would have appreciated some directions to Quartz, but whatever. Right, so give the Visa card to Angela. Right, I'm guessing literally an old Visa card, like an old credit card type thing. Got it, not like a Visa as in something that lets you pass, though. Oh, that'd be a fun bit of wordplay if Visa cards from our era were now being used as literal Visa documentations, providing safe passage for a certain area because, you know, they're fairly distinctive and hard to forge. That'd be super cute. Alright, further along the train, enter and be enlightened, and amazed by the wisdom of the hobo! Hick and snort, the hobo beams at you blearily. Good people, I would like nothing better than to speak to you of things spiritual, but alas, I seem to have run short of the ambrosia which inspires my visions. To demonstrate, the hobo upends an empty bottle of snake squeezings. Oh, that was in the shop at Highpool. I will go and get you some of that. Okay, back to the hobo. So, snake. Take the item of the snake squeezing and use it upwards.
You stare with utter disbelief as the snake squeezins vanishes down his throat. The hobo smiles, his eyes glaze over, and he burps. Beware the man who has lived longer than the Wasteland. Your oracle's eyes clear, and he smiles drunkenly.
Okay. Beware someone who has been around since before the apocalypse. Not sure who that actually is, to be honest, but potentially a useful bit of information to store away. What I really need to find is, yeah, that Quartz place. Okay, I'll admit, I think something may have just gone a bit wrong. The ground seems to glow here. Yeah, I was kind of just hoping to make it to this town. So, yeah, back in these days, radiation, bit on the problematic side. Really on the problematic side. Is everybody comatose, critical, seriously injured, critical? Right, everyone basically died of radiation, instantly. Also, when that happens, the game literally shuts itself off. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I think you get the point. This here is Wasteland, and not just in a symbolic sense, but in a very, very real sense. This is where Fallout begins. You can see here the ideas that Brian Fargo as director was playing with that would completely go on to inform what Fallout would become in 1997. So, a decade before the original Fallout came out, this is where it begins, which is what makes it such a fascinating cultural artifact. And the particularly fascinating thing is, just like Fallout 1, while it does look old and scruffy these days, if you just sit down with it for 10 minutes, you stop seeing that. It starts making sense to you almost immediately. It's so elegantly put together. You can feel the elegant RPG systems that would become Fallout just working quietly under the bonnet. It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. That's not to say it's not on occasion brutally difficult, perhaps arguably unfairly so, and lacking in intuitiveness, but that is not a problem exclusive to Wasteland. That was a problem of RPGs in general in this period, because there are absolutely moments in the original Fallout and Fallout 2 where it is not particularly intuitive how you're supposed to progress. So, yeah, I would say worth a look-see. If you're interested in your history of Fallout, go back and give this one a go, because in its own way, it's very, very special indeed. So I'm glad we got to have a chat about this and its relationship to Fallout. And speaking of Fallout, video essay a week today, I promise, because now I know how long it's going to be and know how much time it's going to take me to finish it. So we're in good shape for next week. Big long essay coming up then. Hopefully you join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Wasteland. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Oh, Timmy, it gets much worse yet. Because your dad's also dead. Garden Gnome, go! Yes! Come back and accept your inevitable gnoming. Dance with your dad, Timmy. Dance with your dad. Gnomed! Oh, I've emancipated his limbs from the rest of him.